everyone watching on YouTube, and welcome back to more Persona 4 Arena Ultimax 60% complete with what is apparently the story of Persona Arena. And then we're gonna have to do, like, Arena Ultimax has its own story, I guess? I still don't really know what's going on with all of that. This, the story mode of this game is very weird and strangely laid out. But all I know is they got a percentage at the top right, and I'm getting it to 100, and that's all that matters. So, yeah, we unlocked Labris' story last time, and then I assume this is Elizabeth, because I forgot Elizabeth was in the game until chat reminded me. But, so we just have this hidden one, which again I assume is Elizabeth, and then Labris, and we have to finish Aigis', which I believe we're about to go straight into a fight with Elizabeth. But we're at scene 10 with Aigis, so we should be very close to the end of her story, and then I guess after that we're gonna be doing, I guess after that, we're gonna be going back to the older stories to pick up where they left off, but judging from the fact that we're only just now about to finish Aigis', and there are still 2 more stories, Labris, and again, I assume Elizabeth in the middle, but we're already at 60%, I assume when you continue a story, it wraps up a lot quicker. Like, it doesn't take as long to get through the second half of the story as it did the first half. Maybe it's more, it would be like, maybe it's more like when you get to the to be continued, you're like 2/3 done, and then there's like 1/3 after that would be my guess. Elric, welcome to stream. Wouldn't it be Margaret for Persona 4? Well, no, you mean in this hidden one? I think this hidden one is going to be Elizabeth because Elizabeth was a character that we fought in Narukami's story, and we're about to fight in Aigis'. As far as playable characters go, I know that there are also playable... I think Margaret might be a playable character too, at least in Ultimax, but this is the Arena story. I don't know if there were less characters during Arena, but in terms of characters that we have fought in these story modes, the only character we fought in these story modes that isn't on the screen right now is Elizabeth. It'd be really weird if Margaret suddenly showed up, because she hasn't been mentioned in a single one of the stories yet, at all. Oh, Margaret was DLC. So there's no way that that's Margaret then, if she was DLC when this game originally came out. Anyways, let's load back up Aigis' story. I think we're going straight into a fight with Elizabeth. Yep, I don't remember how to play the game. This is gonna go great. Nothing could possibly go wrong here.
Finally.
Someone in chat tell me how to play. I do remember that when in doubt, press square and hope. Oh no. Get him.
Please don't hold back.
I ain't holding back.
From this moment forward,
I don't believe in holding back. Oh, she hit me.
Warning.
Rise up. Gamers, rise up. It's time.
Please look above.
What is happening? Hey, whatever you're doing, stop it. Please don't use your ult. Hi. I'm gonna blow you up. Nice, let's go. I'm a gamer. Amazing. Real gamer hours.
Well done.
Elizabeth stands from her kneeling position. Though she lost, she did not so much as break a sweat. While I, for my part, am detecting strain on my entire drive system. Oh no! How many tabs of Google Chrome do you have open, Aigis? You don't have enough RAM for this. I can see myself lacking the energy to even speak, reflected in Elizabeth's clear eyes. That's weird.
You are indeed neither man nor any ordinary machine. You are truly singular. But then can anyone be said to be the same as anybody else? People anguish over the gulf between themselves and others, and the lack of any who could possibly understand them. How is their situation different from yours?
They have human flesh. And a beating heart.
What defines life is not death, but bonds. That is the answer you once reached. Then take that to heart and go forth. Remember that your bonds will remain unbroken, giving you the strength to withstand any suffering.
I imagine this is a big callback to what I assume is the end of Persona 3 The Answer, which I never played because the gameplay of it was very tedious and boring. But I do know the general gist of what happened during it. Generally. Very generally. I could not tell you any specifics, but I understand the concept.
My bonds. I, too, am currently on an endless journey, but I anticipate that you will become a compatriot of mine, unbound by the limitations of time. I hope that you will not be led astray by trivial things. With that, I bid you good luck.
Elizabeth bows and finally shows me her smile. Immediately after, she turns on one heel and walks towards the hallway. I suddenly remember.
There are rules to this tournament delineating behavior after a match.
Such parlor tricks can get stuffed.
All right.
I shall be on my way.
True to her word, she leaves the room with no trouble and closes the door with an exaggerated slam. Those walls were nothing to her. But come to think of it, Labris didn't seem subject to those rules either. Did they only apply to participants in the tournament? No, in Elizabeth's case, it simply does not matter to her.
She remains a complete enigma.
She's a weird one, all right. I find it amusing, which allows me to feel more relaxed.
It may be true that this world can grant one's true desire, but I want Labris to see past herself to a world where other people matter. Even if one discards their bonds to avoid pain, all that awaits is a numb, desert-like future with no promise.
Yo, that sounds like SMT5.
I thought as she did once, so I'm sure I can understand her.
I too felt the same as Labris when I went through an incredibly trying ordeal. If there's no one to reach out to her, she'll become even more trapped, so we gotta reach out to the truth. It's the name of the song. As she is now, Labris cannot escape on her own. That is because the key to I can't pronounce this word, extricating oneself is the realization that one is not alone.
I want to form a bond with Labris, with my sister. I want to teach her things that she cannot learn if she is alone.
Saying it out loud helps to strengthen my resolve. I change my approach and focus on searching for a way to save her. Still, that thing that looked like me? Was that what Naoto-san meant by a shadow going berserk? My own shadow. Thinking of it that way sheds some light on things. Of course I can control my persona and have some resistance to the effects of this world, but the heart cannot be so easily stabilized. If the same thing happened to Labris, I suddenly realize the dangers involved. I impatiently suppress these thoughts and dash out to the hallway. Yo, we're going to the hallway, my favorite location in the game. Let's go. Yo, Tartarus music. Dago, bruh, thank you so much for gifting a tier 1 sub. Greatly appreciated, man. Thank you for the support. I follow the path formed by the invisible walls. Eventually, I climb the stairway to the 3rd floor. There seem to be no walls here, allowing me to go as I please. 3rd floor, I think, is the announcement room. I can tell the end is near, and so I prepare myself. Wow, we left off right at the end of Aigis' story last time. Soon, I stand in front of a room that has a sign outside saying announcement room. The door is half opened. I can sense someone inside. I cautiously press up against the door and peek around it. What is this music? What is this track? I've never heard this before. Have I? I don't know what it is, but I'm vibing. This is an announcement room, as the signs indicated, but the space inside is much larger than the classrooms I've seen. The equipment here is also closer to that of a TV studio than what would be found in a school. On top of that, the back wall is made of glass, showing a view that is clearly not a schoolyard. This is from Persona 3? I don't remember it. This sounds a bit more familiar now. Taken together, this is the first distinct sign that this is not the real world. As I expected, Labris is here, standing in the middle of the room. There is also another boy and girl as well. The girl is holding Labris' shoulder, and the boy stands in front of the pair, protecting them. Rize is the girl, the boy is probably Narukami? Did we encounter Narukami in Aigis' story already? I don't remember. I don't think so. This played during the Persona 3 Protag's Awakening. Oh, was that the only time? I definitely don't remember then. Across from them is General Teddy. It seems this is the end of the line. Oh, never mind, it's Yosuke. Yo, my man! I've seen that boy's face in the video. Yosuke Hanamura-san, I believe. I'm not familiar with the girl's face, but I do recognize her distinctive voice. It's the same voice that has been commentating on the fights along with General Teddy on the school PA. From the tone of the commentating, I thought she was working with the general, but right now she seems to be on Yosuke-san and Labris' side. I recall what Chie-san told me. Chie-san said that she, Rize-san, was originally their friend. I don't know why I read that so weird. in which case she may actually be another victim. General Teddy gives a cruel smile, squints his eyes, and speaks.
What a shame. You gave it a try, but there's no way anyone would understand you. Huh?
General Teddy's voice and tone have undergone a remarkable change. Listening closely, this voice is... Ah, so it finally reveals its true form.
At least one of them has to understand how I feel. Isn't that what you thought? The important part is that it's all your fault. That's not true. You still refuse to remember? Look at me. And stop deluding yourself.
Alright, I've only seen this cutscene like 12 times. We'll just skip that.
I am a shadow. The true self. No way. She has my face.
But the face is the only thing that is the same. The rest of her body is covered in metal. There's no doubt that it is man-made. Why, the hair is very similar as well, not just the face. Labris lets out a short scream and backs up.
Stop! I'm not like that!
Calm down. It's just taking that form to agitate you.
Yosuke is frantically trying to calm Labris down. It's just taking that form to agitate you. That's what he says, but is that really the case? Oh, so it looks like Aigis' story is very close to Yosuke's. I wonder if Yosuke still thinks that that's his shadow and not Labris. I have my own suspicions.
No! Taking that form, huh? Well, you have a point. I do have the power to confuse people's senses. Warp what they're seeing. Twist what they're hearing.
That's how you made my senpai fight each other.
Of the things you're seeing right now, which do you think is real and which is fake?
The former General Teddy, no, Labris' shadow, breaks out into a grin. Labris, meanwhile, is cringing in fear as she holds onto Yosuke's sleeve.
No, I'm not like you. I'm human, aren't I?
Huh? What do you mean?
I can see that Yosuke does not know how to answer the sudden question, yet who would?
And how did I come to have these special powers? Why, it's because I have them.
With that, the shadow snaps its fingers. At once, static like that on a poorly tuned TV starts appearing around Labris and slowly envelops her. I enhance my vision. Nothing is happening to Labris' body. It was my own vision that was clouded, or had been until now. Soon after the noise dissipates, an inhuman-looking girl is standing in her place.
Huh? A robot?
Metallic arms and legs extend from her uniform. Thrusters on her back spread like wings. It's just as I thought. Her body is identical to that of the shadow in front of her.
Look, that's what she really looks like. It's her who's been deceiving you all from the start. Not only you, but herself too. She really thinks that she's a human living a normal life at school. To reinforce her make-believe is real, she prevented herself from accessing any memories that could contradict that.
Is this the only shadow to have unique powers? Teddy. I would say Teddy has unique powers, and he's technically a shadow, but he also has a shadow? It's weird. But also, it's not really the shadow that has unique powers. It's Labris that has, like, the unique equipment and all, isn't it? Because Shadow Labris was saying, like, oh yeah, I have these powers because it's just what Labris has. And they're both Labris. So it's not really the fact that she's a shadow, it's the fact that she is Labris.
She even sealed away her own name. No! Stop! Why are you doing this? Kindly hurry up and remember me. Remember yourself. It's pretty rude of you to even forget your own name.
Would you kindly? Is this BioShock now?
No! I don't want to remember! Huh. Is that so? Looks like you still need an extra push.
The shadow grins evilly and swings the enormous axe at Labris, or actually at Yosuke-san. So Labris has the power to warp senses? That's what I think. Is that not what they've been getting across this entire game? Like, Mitsuru and them talk about, like, oh, Labris had, like, special equipment put on or whatever, and I was under the impression that special equipment was the sense stuff, the stuff that messes with senses. Because they also, in Mitsuru's episode, I think specifically, they talked about, or maybe it was Aigis' episode, they all blend together, there are so many of them. They kind of talk about how, like, they start to figure out, like, oh, wait a minute, the people didn't, like, kidnap Labris or steal the Labris cargo, Labris from inside the cargo did did her mind warping stuff to trick people into hijacking the plane. And that's why when they question the people who hijacked the plane, they say they don't remember very well or they're very confused. And that's because Labris was messing with their head. So it can't just be Labris's shadow if that's the case, because Labris wouldn't have had a shadow until she came into the shadow world, presumably. Didn't Adachi's shadow also have powers? Adachi doesn't have a shadow, does he? Adachi has a persona. I mean, I guess Adachi had to have had a shadow at some point that became his persona, but he uses, like, evil Izanagi as his persona, doesn't he? So, like, I don't think they ever show Adachi's shadow on screen. They only ever show his persona. Adachi had one. He just worked together with it. What? Did they show that in Persona 4 Golden? Or are you getting that from, like, a spin-off game? I don't remember that in Persona 4 Golden. The shadow grins, and if you are getting that information from a spin-off game, stop talking about it. I'll figure out when I play whatever that spin-off game is. The shadow grins evilly and swings the enormous axe at Yosuke-san. Sorry, I talked over Rize. Persona 4 Golden animation? Well... if it's from the anime adaptation, should probably take it with, like, a grain of salt. Like, because it didn't happen in the game, to my knowledge, and I think the game takes precedence over the anime when it comes to what is, like, what would be considered, quotation marks, canon, and what isn't. So I wouldn't really, I wouldn't think about that. Before the axe can complete its arc, I am already in action. I must intervene. Neither Labris, in shock at seeing her true form, nor Yosuke-san or Rize-san are prepared for the attack.
What the?
Sup, how's it going? Is this exactly what happened at the end of Yosuke's episode? I can't remember. I deflect the strike with the metallic part of my arm. What part of your arm isn't metallic? Asking for a friend? It was heavier than I anticipated. It's a giant axe! The battle axe is a giant lump of metal that blocks most of my vision.
Girl? Wait, you're a robot too?
How many robots are there in this place? I turn my head to Labris and look straight into her shocked eyes.
You must remember, that is the only way the future will open up to you. You must accept it, no matter how painful it may be.
I tell her her name in a clear voice. Her official name, which includes something no human has, a model number.
Your true name is 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris.
Labris quivers violently, as if an invisible arrow had pierced her chest. Alright. Oh, and we still don't have this last one. Alright. So there's only... I wonder... I don't know why I did that clicking noise with my tongue. Yo, that gave us 1 more %! Let's go, gamers! We're getting there! I wonder if this episode, if it is Elizabeth or someone else, I mean, it's gotta be Elizabeth, surely. But I wonder if this one opens up after Labris's, or if we have to start going back to and finishing other stories first. I guess we'll find out, won't we, chat?